G'day, we're McLean & Sons and we have a fantastic property for you today that's only just come onto the market. Homestead Station is 250 hectares of productive broadacre and grazing country. It is situated on the lucrative Liverpool Plains, an established agricultural region suited for livestock, with nearby sale yards at Gunnedah and Tamworth, whilst being only 300 kilometres from Sydney. The local region consists of a landscape blessed with gentle sloping plains. Dominant features include the ancient volcanic mountains of Coolanbilla and Collie Blue, as well as the nearby seasonal Lake Garand. These nearby features naturally have played a significant role in the soil formation of this cracking property. Homestead is one of the most consistent and stable properties in the district, consisting of a deep, rich red chromosome, which is the iconic agricultural soil of New South Wales. The region was cleared by European settlers in the 1820s, with pastoralism of sheep and cattle followed by dryland wheat cropping in the 1860s. The mechanisation of agriculture in the 1950s led to widespread growth of cropping and revolutionised the versatility of enterprises in this climatic region. Recent times and climate change have seen a movement from livestock to sorghum and canola due to a rise in labour and production costs. Sheep production has also ceased in the area due to the impacts of erosion and economic costs of labour imbalanced with wool prices. Homestead Station receives roughly 620 mm of rainfall each year, with heavily structured clay soils providing a fantastic network to hold moisture and grow a variety of crops, including wheat and sorghum just in this last year. The ability to grow a healthy variety of both winter and summer crops allows for year-round income and with an equally fantastic opportunity to graze at moderate stocking rates. The climate is subhumid, which means we have hot summers and predominantly summer rainfall, which is perfect for the summer cropping season and for water storage for the winter season. The rich red clay soils of Homestead Station are the colluvial child of the Coolanbilla Mountain and Collie Blue Mountain, which are composed of basalt and mudstone. These soils are classified as red and brown chromosols, defined by their strong textural contrast between top and subsoil. Being placed in such close proximity to Lake Garand, the potential for alluvial sedimentation from the Liverpool floodplains is great, giving rise to additional nutrients and minerals for productive agricultural use. Our dedicated team of soil scientists at McLean & Sons have thoroughly analysed Homestead Station soils and potential, so you can be confident when choosing this property. Homestead soils have excellent drainage, evident through the lack of mottling and prominent oxidised red colour. The soil structure is strengthened by the red iron oxide minerals as well as calcium ions throughout the bulk of the profile to give a highly stable structure with minimal to no dispersion. This results in a well-developed pore space and structure to support plant and encourage root penetration. Low Aswat scores reflect negligible dispersion in water with the soil's natural state, and the fantastic high values for mean weight diameter reflect high resilience to erosion in the topsoil. Homestead Station soil has a generous amount of both sand and clay throughout the profile and demonstrates excellent water holding capacity. Additionally, our chromosomes' well-connected pore networks ensure excellent water infiltration and percolation throughout the profile, so in a dry year like this, hardly a drop will be wasted. These soils are deep and well developed for any type of root system, as it is at the base of a gentle slope and has deposits of colluvial material. There are negligible amounts of rocks or stones in our paddock, and the clay loamy topsoil is less prone to soil compaction compared to most soils, which ensures any type of machine will run smoothly on this property, from tractors and seeders to harvesters.
This soil offers a huge potential in terms of chemical nutrient fertility. The top horizons contain typical Australian levels of soil organic matter and soil organic carbon, which will support microbial growth. Red-brown chromosols have considerably high cation exchange capacity and hence nutrient holding capacity, ensuring Homestead Station will respond well to nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizers with high efficiency and minimal losses from leaching. The topsoil nitrogen and phosphorus content at Homestead Station is currently sufficient for cropping, and both available potassium and sulfur are at exceptional levels. The exceptionally high exchangeable calcium ion content from the calcic bedrock, as well as extremely low exchangeable sodium ion content, infers strong resilience to both soil salinity and soil sodicity. These well-drained soils further decrease the risk of developing salinity with low EC values on show. Lime inclusions in the subsoil additionally act as a buffer against soil acidity. With a soil that has little risk of becoming acidic and low exchangeable aluminium ion content, aluminium toxicity in crops or pasture will not be a concern. The resilient soil characteristics of Homestead Station reinforce the long history of cropping and grazing, demonstrating from an informed standpoint the value of this property and its strong agricultural potential is as clear as it comes. Taking history, climate, and soil factors into account, a wide range of idyllic uses for the property can be ascertained. When looking towards cropping potentials for the land, implementing a system of wheat, barley, or canola would be a highly suitable choice for winter, while in the summer season, going for a sunflower or sorghum crop would be a smart decision. Looking more critically at the land's suitability to sustain a fertile crop, we can focus on wheat and sorghum, the two most profitable crops. Wheat does exceptionally well in slightly warmer winter climates of around 21 to 24 degrees Celsius, which is perfectly suited to the climate of the area. It requires 300 to 400 millimeters of rain per year to get a high yielding crop and a soil of neutral pH and good drainage, which this soil provides. The average crop of wheat yields around 3.3 tonnes per hectare, and with current grain prices, wheat is selling at around $450 to $500 per tonne, making this enterprise a highly profitable one. The suitability of sorghum as a summer crop is remarkable. The Homestead property provides sorghum the deep, well-drained, fertile soil that it requires, as well as a roughly neutral soil pH. Sorghum also demands a reasonable level of stable rainfall throughout the growing season, which the Liverpool Plains historically provides. And if planted at the right time in late November, it can have a reduced growing period of 65 days as opposed to the longer 80 days. Sorghum averages a yield of 2.9 tonnes per hectare, and with current market prices often sells for $300 to $350 per tonne, which again makes it a highly profitable crop to grow. A recent study by the University of Sydney indicated that soils at Homestead property are capable of cotton production, granted there is sufficient water. And finally, if cropping isn't so much a thing, or a mixed system is desired, this land is also highly effective for stocking cattle on the property, with the potential for a herd of breeders, replacement heifers, or even bulls, with a DSE of roughly 1.2 head per hectare, even in drought conditions. They could be as high as 2.5 DSE in years with average rainfall. Whichever one of these decisions you choose, Homestead Station's stable soils can withstand the test of time to support you. Now, let's take a look. As you've just seen, Homestead Station is a fine property, and the icing on the cake is that really, not much needs to be done to keep this soil in optimal conditions for agricultural production. With good management and practices such as no-till and stubble retention, you'll find the soil practically maintains itself. Common limiting soil concerns such as soil acidity, salinity, and sodicity are highly unlikely due to the buffering capacity of Homestead Station's limed clay soils. In the long term, any risk of the soil becoming acidic or sodic can easily be amended and countered through applications of lime or gypsum respectively. In terms of fertility, there will undoubtedly be a drop in nutrients after cropping. However, Homestead Station soils respond exceptionally well to nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizer applications, with the clays holding onto the nutrients, so when it comes to worrying about leaching and nutrient loss, you don't have to. The risk of erosion has been addressed on the property with the construction of contour banks to slow down run-on and run-off rates, and a shift in practices for stubble retention during fallow. The shift from sheep to cattle in grazing strips with perennials also assists in maintaining permanent ground cover throughout the property. Dung can also be incorporated to provide some texture and cover to the topsoil if the land is used for grazing in the future. Overall, the innate characteristics of Homestead Station soils bypass the need for rigorous amendments to maintain suitable conditions over time for agricultural practices, with simple conventional practices and good management decisions to be sufficient. Now that we see the full picture, it's time to consider the price. Ladies and gents, you really could not get a better bang for your buck here. Our capable team of specialists, soil technicians, salesmen, and growers have assessed this quality agricultural holding, putting its price greater than its value at $3,000 a hectare. At $3,000 a hectare, our 250 hectare property will serve you well for a range of enterprises. Homestead Station comes with bores, water tanks, dams, fencing, grain silos, pre-installed contour banks, and most importantly, absolutely stunning, superb soils. This property's red chromosome could be called the backbone of agriculture in New South Wales. With a sturdy, well-developed structure, you can be assured that this soil can hold water without the risk of being waterlogged. These loamy clays are reasonably fertile and respond exceptionally well to fertilizers with excellent nutrient holding capacity. With contour banks already in place to slow down erosion and stubble retention practices in use, these soils have been conserved well in the past 70 years. Really, not much needs to be done to keep this soil fit for agricultural use due to its innate tolerance for soil acidity, salinity, and sodicity. Wheat, barley, sorghum, legumes, oilseeds. Homestead Station is suited to grow a diverse range of crops and pasture all year round. This soil won't hold you back when climate or target markets change. All that just 300 kilometres from Sydney at $3,000 a hectare, absolute bargain. You don't want to pass this opportunity up.